Hey, beautiful souls. How y'all doing? Um, I just wanted to tap in because I've just had a lot of beautiful, amazing things come up in my mind and heart. Just a part of my continual, my own shedding process. And I know a lot of people are feeling it and experiencing it in in a multitude of different ways. And I think that it's very, the word is transformative for real when you're kind of going through it because you are a witness almost to your own transformation, which is, I guess it's almost like a rarity in a certain way. I think that no other, um, you know, being or creation really is able to witness its own transformation, right? So I don't think, the butterfly in the process of metamorphosis always comes up for me. And butterflies are not able to like sit outside of themselves and watch the process happening. You know what I mean? So it's very profound, the human experience for real, like when we really dig into it. But with that being said, one of the things that come up for me, I think a couple of weeks ago, was around worthiness, right? And our understanding of it. And the secondary thing that came up this week was like really around dysregulation and safety, because I think that we are in a collective space of dysregulation based on everything that's going on around us and all of our sensitivities, right? We've just been I think that we are and have been a society that has grown to become more fear-based. And especially coming out of the pandemic, when you experience something that you have no context for, um, the amount of fear that is heightened in that situation and the way people become much, much more dysregulated, right? Like it's just like you was there and then it like took you to a 10, you know what I mean? So the amount of dysregulation that I see just in the workplace, right? Like a part of the work that I get to do, and I'm fortunate enough to do, is help to, work with people and some of our leaders in the company around initiatives that support, belonging and well-being. And dysregulation is a common theme, right? And just people everywhere. You see it when people are going bad at the grocery store and running in the airports. Like that's dysregulation, right? You are disconnected from self. You are disconnected from your body, from your mind, from your spirit, and some of the stuff that's happening out here. And that's not where I want to go with this, but I had to kind of set the tone because I think that it's important to understand states, right? When we have an awareness to a state of being, of how we are interacting, how we are moving through the world. And for myself, having much more awareness of my state of being has helped me to understand where I needed to recalibrate myself, right? And get curious around what was happening to me and within me, so that I could see what may not be projecting outwards, right? And one of the things I've been feeling is just really ungrounded, right? Here lately, I've just been feeling it very ungrounded, and like I'm doing salt baths, but I'm not meditating fully. I'm working out, but I don't have enough consistency. Like, just kind of like here, but really not just kind of like at a smooth baseline of certain things, and felt just ungrounded in my being, and noticed that you normally can get a little bit more snappy with people I think one of the things that I realized, post divorce is that the role that my dysregulation played in my divorce, right, in the ending of my marriage, because I could see where when the mind is looking for something to regulate itself, it's just looking for a target. It's looking for an outlet, right? And sometimes because you are not feeling safe in your body, when you look external, it's your partner, right? And oftentimes it becomes that we are looking for our partner to fulfill the need of what's missing. So since I am unpartnered, you got to deal with you, right? You got to deal with you. And in me dealing with me, it was like, what do I need? And it was just, I remember saying to myself, oh, I just need a hug. You know what I mean? Like, I was just like, if I just had a hug. And it wasn't about the physical experience of it. I just needed to ground. I needed more safety in my body. I needed to ground myself into my body to find my safety, to reset, to kind of level set myself. And I think that that's why it's so important to have these awarenesses as we begin to think about and ideate on what we're bringing forward, right? The new world that we're bringing forward and the new ideas that we're bringing forward and how we're working in tandem with innovations and technologies that we haven't utilized before. And what do we need to teach the technology, right? How do we work in tandem with these technologies, right? And I think that a lot of the things that I say, the things that I do, they're all anchored in love. They're all anchored in love. And it's not love it is love as a multifaceted entity, a power, a source. Love as a source, right? Not love, just the romantic version of it, the hugs, the kisses, the affections, not that version of love. Because I think that we have a lot of descriptives of what love is. But it is a power. It is a source. And because God is love and God is source and power. So it has to be that, right? And so when you think about how do we move from a place of fear and closer to a place of love? And that's definitely going to be more of what I'm going to touch on in this next season of Rooted and Rising, which I'm so happy to begin working on. I started parts of it it takes a while, y'all, to like put a podcast together and do the work and put all of the like pieces in order. Like it's definitely not the simplistic as it may seem at times. Everyone's like, oh, you just got to get a podcast. You just got to get a mic and this and that. No, it's not that. It is not just get a mic and start talking. Like for me, especially the overthinker, there are a lot of moving parts to things like that. And so I think it's, important to acknowledge that when you are building and creating something that there's going to be sometimes much more work than you initially sign up for. But I think that's where your commitment to what you're bringing forward matters the most, right? I've done a lot of different things, and some things I've kept up, and some things I've sunsetted, as we say. But my commitment has always been steeped in, my purpose and what I felt like what I was sent here to do. And so I think that I feel that it's important to acknowledge some just really real aspects of those parts of your journey, right? But ultimately, y'all, I'm gonna lean in on you. We have the opportunity to take the introspection that we have done through this winter and bring it forward in a way where we are going to be able to serve the greater collective, moving from a place of fear into love. So, which we all need more of. So I hope you're inspired by the things that I say. I hope that the messages that I share help to inspire thought, inspire conversation, challenge you in certain ways. I'm always down to have a dope conversation around the things that I've learned along my journey, the experiences that I have, the anything. I'm always willing to share my insight, my wisdom on any, on the multitude of information that I have. But more so, it's the medicine, right? It's the medicine that we need. And so when you are a medicine woman, when you are a healer, when you are a lover and a light worker, when you are a shaman, when you are a teacher, when you are a believer, right? Then I feel like you have a responsibility to share that medicine. So I welcome the opportunity. I hope that these messages inspire you to think expansively, to expand your mind, right? Because we're going to be digging in a little bit more into some of these conversations. And I'm going to start a little series, my little journal series. Y'all see my journal right here? Because I've always got my notes. I'm always writing because things flow. So I'll be dropping a journal too. And I hope y'all tap in with it. I hope you tap in with that. But this was my evening message. All right. Peace and blessings, y'all.